Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Wednesday, April 19th, 2017. In both the Lynn life and the Jamie body mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions and Nature Realm's guardians. We have such a beautiful gift being given to all of us in this extraordinary era of being able to watch the collapse occurring. The multidimensional elements of the collapse are actively in play now. How long they've been actively in play is an open question, probably a lot longer than we think. And when we start to examine earlier experiences with the awareness that possibly dimensional collapses were involved, some of them make a lot of sense.
That's true.
We're also aware that correlation is not the same as causality, and we're not jumping to conclusions. We're continuing our experimentation. As always, our foundational intention is to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions, to manifest the divine plan. The data very clearly showing we're unable to do that for our own dimension in which we're experiencing sentience or for larger dimensions, but that we are very much able to create divine experiences for those in smaller dimensions. And if we aren't willing to create divine experiences for those in smaller dimensions who are suffering so deeply as a result of our own bad choices, have we not all become twisted monsters? What now, in order to not be a twisted monster?
I see the question going way out.
What now, in order to not become a twisted monster?
Not be a twisted monster.
Thank you. What now, in order to not be a twisted monster? What now, in order to no longer be a twisted monster? What now, in order to let go of our twisted monsterness? Well, what do I know? I know that karmic collapse, I know that karmic dumping is real and that dimensional collapsing is real. And presumably that means that karmic collapse is also real.
That's true.
And I know that we cannot stop larger dimensions from dumping their bad karma into this one. We can't. But to open up into the smaller dimensions, to open up an air hole and say, look, come here, you can breathe through here. And then to not prevent the karmic dumping from reaching them, that's wrong on a really deep level, on a number of really deep levels, and I don't want to participate in that, and therefore it's incumbent upon me to block this karmic dumping. I can't stop you from dumping it on me, but I will not let you dump it on my smaller levels. I'll not stand aside while you dump it on my smaller levels. I am going to engage and attempt to burn it as it's coming through me, so that the smaller levels don't have to deal with the bad decisions made at this level and at higher levels.
That's true.
It shouldn't impact their karmic experience. It shouldn't impact their karmic record. They're just along for the ride.
That's true.
What do my neutrons have to do with the decisions? Not as much as you guys want to say they do.
No.
And somebody's arguing, and I can see the point. They're saying I don't agree. I don't agree. Listen, they're talking about how the smaller dimensions provide the foundations of life, and therefore, since the smaller dimensions, the denser dimensions, are solidly packed with lies, that they are basically hurting the lighter levels by providing a foundation of life that's based on lies. And while I agree with you, what seems to be missing from your analysis is who created those lies in the first place. If you see how it's just falling like dead skin flakes fall and then piling up, it's larger level lies that are actually compacting, making it impossible for the smaller levels to live. What now, in order to not be twisted monsters? Let's simply bifurcate. All of us who really want to know what it actually takes to no longer be a twisted monster, to the search for truth's central axis, all others flung away. And what do I know? I'm being shown again this solo wood stork,
That's true.
who we have seen multiple times flying with vultures, which is so sad. And we're asking the wood stork, what's up, what's going on? And the wood stork says, I have this enormous body of knowledge and nobody wants to learn it. And so I know that if I just go stand in a swamp alone myself, definitely nobody will learn it, because we already tried that, and that's why we've left the Everglades. That's why we've left those sheltered places and gone out into the world. And maybe, if I stay visible flying with the vultures, somebody will come to learn it. And what do I know? I know that today we saw an immature bald eagle also flying with the two vultures and the solo wood stork. And what do I know? I know that that might be a nature realm's child.
That's true.
Interesting. What now, in order to no longer be a twisted monster? What do I know? I know that in this era of rapid dimensional collapse, that within a span of a 30-minute meditation, we have to retrieve our channels that have fallen down again and stretch them up more than 40 times.
That's true.
More than once a minute. And in our meditation times, we're aware of it. In our other times, it's still going on. It doesn't stop because we aren't meditating.
That's true.
And we've got to continually groom up our channels. And this is like life on a Stairmaster.
Yes.
The Stairmaster will not run forever. This dimensional collapse will end.
That's
but
true.
during this era of dimensional collapse, those who stop grooming up their channels become these twisted monsters whose channels are just hanging down as if they are weighted with lead weights. And
that's true.
What do I know? I know that lies that are really tightly held to are often represented as lead weights.
That's true.
So probably what these are our own cherished beliefs that we don't want to let go of, that are untrue, and they're dragging our channels down.
That's true.
Why do you ask? And also, which way is up? What now? In order to no longer be a twisted monster. Each for ourselves, owning that when our energy bodies distort, our energy bodies are becoming twisted.
That's true.
And so we see or feel a lot of resistance to claiming twisted monsterhood.
That's true.
But we're supposed to be standing channels up. Now, historically, there was an updraft that helped us to do that when we wished to, which nobody really wants to do. Because what's under the Band-Aid is, I don't want to do it, meaning I don't want to live my soul plan.
That's true.
And you can't make me, which is true.
Which is true.
But for those who actually want to, it's now excruciatingly difficult, because it's a continual need to keep the channels up, continual focus on the channels in order to keep them up.
That's true.
And the moment the focus falters, as it inevitably does in order to accomplish anything in the world, including brushing teeth,
that's true,
then the channels fall down right away. And
that's
they fall
true.
down with the weight of a dimension attached to it.
That's
blowing
true.
past this dimension, whoomp, into the deeper, denser levels, like concrete blocks
That's
or
true.
lead weights. Why do you ask? And also, which way is up? What now, in order to no longer be twisted monsters? I don't want to be a twisted monster. I don't want to have my channels hanging down into the muck. I actually don't. I want to know, what now, in order to manifest the divine plan for all dimensions, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do, since that's what our soul contracts commit us to doing. What now? I just see places where bombs are falling and people are rushing to pack things, but they're packing crazy things like
That's
stressed beings do. They're just throwing stuff in boxes, and like I can see the glowing objects that they should be taking with
Yes,
them
that's true.
just sitting there, and they're just throwing random things in boxes and getting out,
That's true.
like leaving their child sitting on the counter or something like that.
That's true.
It's like that guy when the avalanche came, that guy who grabbed his cell phone and ran, leaving his 2 small children and his wife.
Yes, that's true.
That's what's
what
happening.
this
That's the
is.
feeling.
Yeah.
What now, in order to no longer be a twisted monster? What do I know? I know that looking at the Nature Realms communities this morning in just a very short experiment, we found a wide range of attitudes.
That's true.
Because in this dimension, human civilization as we know it is doomed. It's only a matter of time. We're not living sustainably environmentally, we're not living sustainably economically, we're not living sustainably spiritually, we're not living sustainably in any measure of performance. So it's only a matter of time. How long? I don't know. 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? I don't know. But it's only a matter of time.
That's true.
And we also know that many of the Nature Realms communities are looking at imminent extinction, which is end of their civilization.
That's true.
And bees and earthworms in our testing this morning seem to be really sad and not understanding why this tragedy is occurring, but they seem to have come to the conclusion that it's over.
Yeah, that's
and it
true.
doesn't make any sense. Why the senseless destruction? That seems to be their big question.
Yeah.
Why this senseless destruction? Why the senseless
Why
destruction?
the senseless destruction?
And also, which way is up? The answer to the question is the bees and earthworms want to know why the senseless destruction. Why do you ask?
Yes.
And also,
So
which way is up? Somebody's answering why the senseless destruction. They're saying, well, it's only senseless if you leave out the frame of reference. And as soon as you realize that there's an intent to control planetary food supply, then it makes perfect sense that bees and earthworms particularly would be targeted for destruction. And then they kind of say, duh. All of us who really want to know what it actually takes to no longer be a twisted monster, to the search for truth's central axis, all others flung away. And we see that with that bifurcation call. There's an embedded bifurcation call that says we've got to be willing to acknowledge we're already twisted monsters.
That's true.
This will probably clear the room quite effectively.
That's true.
What now? What now in order to no longer be a twisted monster? What now in order to no longer be a twisted monster? What do we know? We know that, for example, the Virginia Creeper community is aware that they are a problem, but they are also very aware that they are not the worst problems. They're saying, look, I know I'm causing some problems, but the real problems are the air potatoes and those orange seed pod vines who are just freaky. And it's true that the Virginia creepers are not the biggest problems. It's true that as vines go, there are other vines in this area that are worse problems.
That's
but
true.
The Virginia creepers are also problems. And so for all of us to say, what can I do to not only stop being a problem, what can I do to be part of the solution? Have I covered my roof with solar panels? If my roof is not solar friendly, have I investigated residential wind turbines? If residential wind turbines are also not a solution, have I investigated community solar options? Have I investigated community wind options? And there are nationwide community wind options available. And so we all have this available. Every single one of us can get our energy renewably. There is absolutely no excuse for any of us to not be getting our energy sustainably.
That's
We
true.
can do it. We can get our energy sustainably. Every single one of us. If you don't have a solar-friendly roof, investigate community solar. If you don't have an area where you can have a residential wind turbine or a solar roof, then investigate wind farms. They're all out there. Communal wind farms. You can go with Arcadia Power.
That's true.
If you're in the Northeast and you're looking for community solar, go with Relay Power. There are
true.
lots of options. They're out there. And start there. Get your electricity provided in a sustainable way first, in order to no longer be a twisted monster. And that's, that's a prerequisite to not being a twisted monster. Then it doesn't stop there.
That's true.
Everything has to change.